Hi everybody, it's Lorraine Knight here, and today I'd like to talk to you about dragons. Now, possibly like me, you've thought that dragons were mythical, mysterious creatures that only existed in fairy tales. And maybe like me, you've been drawn to dragons. All my life, I've been drawn to pictures of dragons, ornaments, jewellery, you name it. I've got quite a few things indoors, quite a collection. And also, my son and husband, they also like dragons as well. So, we've got quite a few pictures and, as I say, quite a few ornaments indoors. Now, I've had quite a few experiences over the years, but nothing could have prepared me for the shock of seeing and feeling the dragons around. Now, I'd been told over the time that dragons had been are re-emerging to the earth plane. They've always been around in the etheric realms, and they work with very, very high cosmic energies and with purification. But as far as I was aware, only people that perhaps went down the pagan roots and the druid roots. Anyone who worked with the energies of nature would connect with dragons. So it never occurred to me that they would be in my life. Now, I know that I've spoken about elementals and nature and all that sort of thing, but at the time when the dragons came to me, I wasn't communicating with elementals or anything like that. So it all began as a dream. One night I went to bed and I was having this weird dream about just laying in my bed asleep, and then all of a sudden my eyes opened and this emerald green dragon flew through the air. It was like a baby dragon, so it was like the whole length of me. It flew through the air and it glided and it rested on top of me. Now I'm laying on my back in my bed, and this dragon rested the full length on top of me. He or she, I don't know whether it was male or female, was absolutely beautiful, and I'll never forget the eyes. And I've always been drawn to eyes, and especially like dragon eyes, crocodile eyes, and any reptilians. They always seem to be, I don't know, they always draw me. Anyway, that was one of my first experiences. And then the next one that happened, I kept being told by spirit that there was a big change coming, a big change coming. Um, anyway, this was a few years ago. I went out in the garden and my eyes were drawn up to the sky. They usually are, because I love looking at clouds. And there was the shape of a dragon, and it was like a serpent dragon. It was like the dragons that come from the Oriental, so it was more serpent than proper dragon, but a dragon nevertheless. And as I looked at it, this voice in my head, who I then knew as one of my guides, said to me, the East dragon brings change, or dragon of the East brings change. So for me, the representation of the Chinese dragon would always bring change to me. Change would happen in many ways. So quite often it would be a change in my vibration. Sometimes it would be a change in personal circumstances. It was all different things. But whenever I saw the Eastern dragon, whether it was in a dream, a vision, in meditation, or looking up in the sky, there would always be a significant change for me personally within the next, 2 to 3 weeks. So that was how I associated that, the Eastern Dragon, with change. Now, I know that a lot of the Eastern dragons have different colours, and the different colours mean different things. I've not gone down that route yet, so I don't understand that, so I can't tell you about that. Sorry about that. But maybe at a later date, if I'm given the information and I'm given the proof, then I'll be able to pass that on to you. So, anyway, getting back to the dragons, I then started accumulating more and more things. So I've got like my dragon ornaments here, which is a set of four, earth, fire, air and water dragon, and they're all hatching out of eggs. I've got my dragon cup here, which was given to me. I don't know if you can see that, okay? And I started drawing pictures of dragons, just straight, painting actually. This one's painting, so painting a picture of a dragon. It's not brilliant, but at the end of the day, it's a dragon, and it gave me a lot of joy looking at it. And I did this, oh gosh, it must be about 5 or 6 years ago now. The reason I brought this out is because I want to tell you something else regarding this picture. Anyway, I then started having more and more dragons coming to me in dreams. Some were big, some were small, they were all different colours. And I remember one particular dream or vision, and I saw this beautiful brown dragon, and he was in like the woods, and it was like I was standing next to him. I knew it was a male. I just knew, I felt it was a male. Anyway, there was a cave, and he was outside the cave, and I will never forget this. It was just so wonderful, this vision. I looked at him, and all of a sudden he puffed at me. It was hilarious. He went poof, like that. There was no fire, no smoke, but the look of amusement on his face, because he could see that he had surprised me. I knew it wasn't my imagination, because as he did that, each one of his scales lifted up and came back down. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And even now, thinking of that, you know, him puffing at me, but not only the puff, the amusement on his face, hilarious. Anyway, that got me more interested in dragons, and I really wanted to know, because I knew that wasn't my imagination, it was real. So what happened was, I did a little delving and found out that there are air dragons, as I say, water dragons, fire dragons, earth dragons. They are seem to be the four most common dragons. But then you get cosmic dragons, universal dragons, you get your own internal dragon, and so many. I only know a little bit about them, but I'm learning more I'm learning more all the time. So I want to tell you about my earth dragon. I've got a couple of them actually, I think. Now, your earth dragon comes to me as a teacher, but also as a protector. And I have a very good friend called Dave, and he lived in the same town as me. And quite often I used to go down there in the evening, and I used to walk back from his place late at night, say about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and I used to walk back, and quite often he would accompany me on the way back and stop at the top of my road, and I'd walk down, and then when I got inside I'd say to my husband, right, I'm just going to give him a ring, let him know that I'm home, and that was that. One day I went round there, one night I went round there, and I said to him, oh, don't worry about walking me home, because it was quite cold and it was late and I didn't want to drag him out. I said, I'll be all right, I've got my phone. Anyway, Are you sure? Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. So I'm walking up the road, and like I say, it's really late at night, really cold, and the streets are, for the most part, deserted. So I'm just walking along the far end of the block where I live, and suddenly I saw a person right up the other end of the street. Now, normally I would have crossed over, but as this person, this gentleman or this male, came walking towards me, I suddenly felt a little bit tense and a little bit scared. Probably my own mind, because there was no reason for me to feel that way, you know. Anyway, I sent up the thought for my dragon to join me. Or no, I'm getting it wrong. When I left Dave's, I sent up the thought for my dragon. That's right, I'm getting it wrong. When I left Dave's house, knowing that I was walking on my own, I sent up the thought for my earth dragon to walk with me and protect me, because, as I say, I'd found out that that's what they help with. So I'm walking up the road. I got to the road the other side of my block, and that was when I saw this man walking towards me from the other end of the road. I did feel a bit scared. Yes, I did. I know it was my own mind, but you know, late at night, woman on her own, and I would have probably felt scared if it had been anyone, to be honest. Anyway, I looked up, something made me look up, and I don't know what. And as I looked up, I could see the huge belly above me of a dragon. And as I was walking, the dragon was walking as well. Well, I was amazed. This was not in a dream, it wasn't in a vision, it was real. And I walked past this person who was taking absolutely no notice of me at all. He had his hood up, he was on his phone, he was doing whatever he was doing, and we passed like that. But the fact that I had seen my dragon over the top, his belly over the top of me while he walked over me, protecting me, that was amazing, absolutely. I've not been worried since then about walking out in the dark. It really has helped me a lot. The other experiences that I've had with a dragon, is I was sitting out here in the garden one day, and all of a sudden I saw a white tail of a dragon swish alongside me, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I must have a white dragon here. Tried to see it in meditation, couldn't. Tried to see it in a vision, couldn't. And I thought, oh well, I know it wasn't my imagination, because I saw it out the side of my eyes and I wasn't even thinking about dragons. So that was that. But about a month later, I was sitting indoors having a coffee and a chat with one of my friends, and she looked at me and she went, Lorraine, she said, I've just seen you as a dragon. I went, really? So she said, yeah, I've just seen you as a white dragon. And as soon as she said that, I then remembered the dragon's house swishing alongside me. I don't know whether that dragon energy has come to me or whether that dragon energy is part of me, because I know that each of us have lots of different energies within us that are all part of us, that are all aspects of us. So until I'm guided differently, what I believe is that white dragon is an aspect of me, part of me. So that was amazing. Anyway, the third and final bit that I'm going to tell you about the dragons is last week or the week before. Yes, I was in the bath, and I'd been doing a little bit of toning, like singing and toning with my voice, which is something that's happened to me over the last year. And then I have a little bit of light language come out of me and through me. While I was doing this, all of a sudden I was aware of a deep, deep, almost like a roar wanting to come up from inside me. Rather than tensing up and being scared like I would have done years ago, I just relaxed down into it. As I relaxed into it, this mighty roar came out of me, and this language that was deep and very, very throaty started speaking out of me, and in a language that I didn't know, but I knew it was a dragon. Now, I've had dragons draw close to me before and speak through me. Not very often, but they have done it. But this was different. This wasn't an energy that came into me from the side. This came from within. So, my own internal dragon. I got out the bath with a very sore throat. As I say, it wasn't the usual tones that can come through me. And I went in my bedroom to get dressed. Would you believe it? On the floor was this picture. Now, this this here is all fire, obviously, coming out of his mouth, but he came up from fire. The feeling that I had was the dragon that came up from within me was part of my internal fire. Okay, and that fire energy just came up here and made its presence known. Now, the strange thing about this picture was I'd forgotten all about it. As I said at the beginning of the video, I did it a good few years ago, and I don't even know where it was. It wasn't, I hadn't had it out. It was possibly in a notepad, in a pad somewhere, but the fact of the matter is, it just appeared on the floor in my bedroom in a place where I could not miss it, and it was just after the dragon energy spoke through me. I think that's blooming amazing, don't you? Anyway, that's my little bit about dragons. I have done classes on meeting your dragons, and that went down quite well, so maybe I'll be doing something online where that's concerned. I hope you enjoyed what I've had to tell you today. I love sharing my experiences with you. Once again, like all of my videos, if you have any comments, if you want to ask any questions, go ahead. If I can answer them, I will do. If not, maybe we can just have a chat and see how that goes. Well, God bless you from me and my Earth Dragon and all of the other dragons in the universe. God bless you.